Robert in Greenville, Texas. Hey, Robert, what's on your mind today? Hey, Robert, if you got me on speakerphone, can you take me off?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Do you like Thom or Tom?
Tom is how I pronounce my name.
I'm sorry?
I pronounce my name Thom, Robert. You must be new to the program?
Yeah, I'm new to the program. I've been watching you for years. You are absolutely right on the spot and very informative. I love getting some alternative views on the news of the day. And
well, thank you. That's what all the Republican callers always say. So where are you going with this?
Well, I'm not really a Republican. I was in my younger years when I thought there was some prospect of becoming rich and the like of that. And as I've grown in older years, I've come to the realization that only a few people actually become rich in this country, and the majority of us just kind of get by, which is the situation I'm in now. But Thom, the thing that I really called about, and it's kind of a novel idea, but we look at our political process now and we're like, here it is. We've got, who are you going to vote for? The lesser of two evils.
I disagree, Robert. I'm not voting for any lesser evil.
Well, I kind of look at it that both candidates have just this tremendous negative rating either way.
No, well, that may well be, and and thank you for the call, Robert. It's always nice to hear from the RNC. The reality is, and this is where in fact, Robert, I would suggest that you also watch Michael Moore's Trumpland movie, because he asks this question. I mean, it's just brilliant. He takes us back to the 1990s when Hillary Clinton is the first lady. And in fact, actually, Bill Clinton lost his first election for governor in Arkansas because Hillary refused to change her last name. She was Hillary Rodham. That was what was used against him. And he lost because of that. In the second election, she changed her name to Hillary Rodham Clinton, and he won. And then when she became first lady, remember when she said, I'm not going to be just, making tea and baking cookies in the kitchen? The right wing exploded. That was the beginning of the anti-Hillary hysteria. That was the beginning of men, typically, hating on Hillary. And then she had the audacity to say, and by the way, we're going to fix the healthcare system in this country. A study done by Harvard University found that on average, 40 to 50,000 Americans every year die, not because a particular disease got them, not because, somebody shot them in the inner city. 40 to 50,000 Americans die every year because they lack health insurance. So back in 1993, Hillary Clinton said, I'm going to fix that. And Michael Moore in his movie, he's talking about how he went to Estonia, because Estonia has the lowest maternal death rate in the world and the highest infant survival rate in the world. They have the best prenatal care and the best natal care, the best postnatal, whatever it's called. They take care of pregnant women really, really well in Estonia. Part of it is, it's a relatively small country. Part of it is they have a good national health care system. Part of it is that they're just very focused on this issue as a culture, as a society. And so Michael Moore went there when he was making his movie, Where to Invade Next. And you can see it in the movie. And while he was interviewing this doctor in this hospital about why the maternal mortality rate is so low, and the guy was explaining to him everything that they did, he noticed on the wall a picture of this guy 20 years earlier shaking hands with Hillary Clinton in that hospital. And he said, isn't that Hillary Clinton? The guy's like, yeah. And he says, who's that guy? And the guy says, that's me 20 years ago. And Michael Moore is like, well, what was she doing in Estonia 20 years ago? She was first lady. And he said, yeah, she was trying to put together a healthcare system for the United States. And she wanted to travel around the world and see who did it best so she could take those ideas back to the United States. And she came here. And there were pictures of her walking through the neonatal, whatever you call it, where the little babies are, holding children and stuff like that. And this wasn't done for public benefit. This was not publicized. And then Michael looks out to the audience and he goes, okay, in the 20 years since Hillary Clinton tried to do that, we've lost 50,000 people a year because of a lack of health insurance. And he said, you know, you all know somebody like that. You all know somebody who has died or knows somebody who died or know of somebody who died because of a lack of health insurance, because they waited too long to go to the doctor and the cancer was already at stage 4, because they couldn't afford the copay, or they were just hoping and praying that it was just the flu or just a lump. We've all had somebody like that in our family or a relative, or you've, at the very least, you've seen the can in the 7-Eleven, you know, trying to raise $100,000 for cancer surgery, you know, and there's $4 in it. And he said, if you take 20 years and multiply by 50,000 people a year, that's 1 million people, right? We lose 3,000 people on 9/11 and we make a memorial. We etch their name into stone. We have an annual day of remembrance. We lose 1 million people because Republicans decided it was more important to hate on Hillary Clinton for, oh my God, being a woman who is actually going to do something rather than just bake cookies and serve tea in the White House. Republicans decided it was more important to hate on Hillary Clinton than to do something about health care, and 1 million Americans have died. And they say, oh, well, you know, she killed Vince Foster. Yeah, right. I mean, all this stuff, there has been this unrelenting, nonstop, let's attack Hillary Clinton stuff going on, literally since the 90s, since 92. And yeah, if you interview Republicans, which is, you know, 1/3 of the population, they'll say, yeah, I don't trust Hillary. I hate Hillary, blah, blah, blah. And you interview low information voters who've seen nothing but Republicans on TV over and over again, and they're going, well, you know, everybody says they can't trust her. What is it you don't trust her about? I mean, yeah, she's changed her position on a few things. She was in favor of the Iraq War. She now looks back and says, you know, that was a terrible mistake. Worst mistake I made. She was opposed to gay marriage. Times changed. She said, hey, I'm all in favor of gay marriage now. Is that bad? Is that why you're supposed to hate her? Is that why you're supposed to not trust her? And then you get these calls from you know, like from the RNC essentially, saying, you know, I love your show. I've been watching you for years. By the way, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Right. You see how this game is being played? It's called drive down Democratic enthusiasm. This is a Hail Mary pass, a Hail Mary play by the Republican Party. And to do this whole concern troll thing. Oh, I really, you know, I love progressive ideas and I love the Democratic Party, but I'm just so worried about Hillary Clinton. I just don't think I can trust her. Really? Then get friggin' active. If you think that you can't trust her to do what she's going to say, what she says she's going to do, then put your body out there, put your face on the front lines, whether it's on Twitter or whether it's showing up getting chained to the front gate of the White House like Bill McKibben did when Barack Obama was wavering about whether or not to cancel the Keystone XL pipeline. Make her president and hold her to account. But there's no way you're going to hold Donald Trump to account. He wants to throw your ass in jail. He wants to shut down the newspapers. Or at least sue them if they say anything about him. I mean, this is how toxic the whole environment has become. And how bizarre and transparent these pathetic attempts by partisan Republicans to try to, you know, oh, hey, let's call into the #1 progressive show and say, I'm really worried about Hillary. That'll work really well. Smart guys. Whatever you paid your consultant, fire them. We'll be back. It's 15 minutes before the end.